With just 1 can of chickpeas, you can make this delicious recipe. You can serve it as an appetizer or even as a side with the main meal. Along with that, I will show you how I make a masala that you can use to stuff any veggies of your choice, and it will make any vegetable taste delicious. Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Bumbi. The first thing we will be making is the Bharwa Masala. Bharwa in Hindi means stuffing. So you can use this masala to stuff any vegetables, or you can use this just like a masala while stir frying any veggies. It is really very versatile. I have taken 1.5 cups of raw peanuts which need to be roasted on low heat. You can use already roasted peanuts and lessen your work. I find raw peanuts sold at Indian grocery stores to be much cheaper than the roasted ones, so I buy them. You have to do this on very low heat. Once they get these teeny tiny brown spots on them, take them out into a bowl and allow them to cool down completely. Next, I will be roasting 1/2 cup of besan, that is gram flour, on low heat. I did not use any oil, it is just the gram flour that I am roasting. Keep stirring continuously on low heat till you start getting an earthy, nutty kind of aroma. Roasting on low heat is the key point here, and it needs a lot of patience, my friends. What I do is put on my headphones and listen to my favorite podcast. Whenever it comes to doing any boring work, I just listen to a podcast nowadays, and that takes out my boredom. Do try it, my friends. Trust me, it really works. Okay, it took me more than 10 minutes to roast this. Take it out into a bowl and allow it to cool down completely. In a bowl, add the toasted gram flour, and please remember it needs to cool down completely. Then the roasted peanuts that has also cooled down completely, 1/3 cup of dried or desiccated coconut flakes, 1/4 cup of sesame seeds, from which I will be saving a little for later. I use toasted sesame seeds, but you can also use white sesame seeds. I always buy the toasted ones because I like their flavor. 2.5 tablespoons of ground coriander, that is dhania powder, 3 tablespoons of ground cumin, that is jeera powder, 1/3 cup of Kashmiri chilli powder. You can use a combination of sweet paprika and regular chilli powder in place of Kashmiri chilli powder. Then 2 tablespoons of garam masala powder, 1.5 tablespoons of turmeric powder, 1.5 tablespoons of sugar, which is optional, 1 tablespoon of amchur powder, that is dried raw green mango powder. Do not worry if you do not get amchur powder. 1 heaped tablespoon of salt, and then 1/4 cup of kasuri methi, that is dried fenugreek leaves. Now I will be grinding all this in my spice grinder, and we need a fine powder. Okay, grinding done. Add the rest of the sesame seeds that you had saved earlier. This is about 460 grams of bharwa masala that I made. Store this in an airtight jar in the refrigerator, and this will last you for months. Just remember, always use a dry spoon to scoop up your masala and put it back in the refrigerator as soon as possible because it has peanuts and nuts get rancid very easily. Okay, I also like adding a heaped teaspoon of citric acid. It is optional, but it is a natural preservative which increases the shelf life of your masala. If you are not using amchur powder, increase the citric acid to 1 tablespoon. It brings in this tangy zing. And my friends, my whole house smells divine whenever I make this masala. Coming to the main recipe, which is a very straightforward one. Coming to the filling or stuffing, whatever you may like to call it. I have used a can of chickpeas. I discard the water, then give the chickpeas a good rinse under tap water. I like mashing them well, but you can also leave them a bit coarse. You can use any beans of your choice, doesn't have to be chickpeas. Then I added about 1/2 cup of that masala, a tablespoon of oil, and some chopped cilantro. You can use any herb of your choice. Beginners, I would advise using just 1/4 cup of that masala to start with. After mixing, do a taste test, and if you think it is tasting bland, then add more of the masala, but increase a tablespoon at a time. I really don't want you to get overwhelmed with the new flavors. At the same time, you can add any seasonings of your choice. It's not that you have to use this Bharwa Masala powder for this recipe. Do whatever your heart desires to. I am here just to give you ideas. These were my last harvest of Italian sweet peppers. Those of you who have been following me for a while, You know how I love growing vegetables in containers. I try utilizing whatever little space I have by doing container gardening. We all must be happy with whatever we have, and we should try our best to make use of whatever we have. I am blessed to have a little space where I can do container gardening. Take out the seeds. I sometimes make this recipe using Fresno chilies or jalapenos or poblano peppers, zucchini, bell peppers. The options are endless. Next is stuffing time. Stuff in as much as possible. Now let me give you one tip. You can sprinkle some of this masala in your turkey stuffing as well. It will be a nice surprise for your guests if they like curry flavor. You can also use just the masala as stuffing without using chickpeas. And I did that for one of my peppers as I was running out of the chickpea mix. Just add a little oil to the bharwa masala, mix it and then stuff. Pot on medium heat with 3 tablespoons of oil. Once the oil turns hot, lower the heat to low and add 1/4 teaspoon of cumin seeds, 1/4 teaspoon of nigella seeds, and 1/4 teaspoon of sesame seeds. Add the peppers and cover them on medium to low heat. After 3 to 4 minutes, just give a very gentle stir. Add 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of that bharwa masala. Again cover and keep it on low heat for 4 minutes. Again give a gentle stir. Again cover on low heat for 3 to 4 minutes. Check with a paring knife or maybe a fork. Now my friends, you do not want them to turn all mushy-dushy. They should be tender, but not too tender to the point that they are falling apart. I'm telling you my friends, these are irresistibly delicious and your guests will love it. You can also bake them if you like. I have another short video which I made long time back where I baked the peppers, but that is a whole new recipe. I will give that link in the description box. Please try this recipe and send me your feedback, and please consider subscribing if you haven't. Bye bye.